What's going on, guys? Ryan here, Jedi Patrol. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 3-0 White Walker Deluxe. That's right, guys. Ryan here with another video. Welcome back to the channel. It's been good. Game of Thrones episode 3 just aired, and it was epic. The battle for Winterfell. It was amazing. It was amazing. If you're hyped about that, guys, you know what I'm talking about when you say this figure is something that I've been looking forward to. I'm just really happy to have it. So I thought we'd take a look at this today. This is by 3-0. It's a 1/6 scale White Walker Deluxe, and we're going to take an in-depth look at this thing. It is absolutely detailed and is amazing. First off, let's take a look at the box. We've got it here. It is a beautiful box. Now, unlike some Hot Toys boxes where you see all kinds of crazy artwork going on the front and back, this thing is sleek. It is clean. It's awesome. So you can see right here, guys, Game of Thrones, White Walker, and then up here we got the Deluxe Edition sticker. This thing is awesome. To give you guys a closer look at this thing, you can see kind of like the embossing. So we get a little. You see this? There it goes. Opposite side because I'm backwards. But check that. Yeah, that's just freaking awesome. All the way around the side, guys. It continues. You can see it's just clean. It's a good looking box. On the inside, actually on the bottom, top and bottom, we have Game of Thrones. On the bottom, we got HBO and all that kind of stuff. So it is like a shoebox tile box, kind of like the Hot Toys figures. So you just have this outer cover, go slide this open, and you're opened with pretty much just an inner box with a clamshell, which I already have out of it. But you can see on the inside, it's got like this teal, it's like Tiffany blue. That's probably the closest I can think. It's like Tiffany blue. This designs here, we got White Walker on the back, Game of Thrones on the back, and White Walker on the other side. It's a very cool box. Like I said, if it's something you decided to display, if you like to display boxes, this is one that is worth it. All right, so straight out of the box, this is the figure you're going to get. If you get the standard version, this is what you're going to get right here. You're going to get the White Walker with his armor, with his his bandages and just the boots. It's freaking awesome. I'm going to tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. You're going to get two sets of hands. You're going to get a right and left hand to grab onto the staff here, and you're going to get a right and left hand. It's kind of like an open gesturing hand, which is pretty cool. So you're going to get two sets of hands with that. You're also going to get one face sculpt, which is insanely detailed. It is really, really detailed, and you're going to get these awesome boots and whatnot. So there's a spider on my display table. Get out of here. Let's go ahead and get a closer look at the figure. So let's take a look at the head sculpt first. It is very, very detailed, guys. I mean, the sculpt is very crisp. The lines are clean. The paint and the shading is amazing. I think, on par with a Hot Toys level figure, Sideshow level figure, this is a beautiful head sculpt, beautiful paint. You can see like the weathering going on. He's been through battles, and he's dead. He's a zombie, right? He's a zombie. So you got to look at all this kind of crazy stuff. Like he's got like the veins and the bone structure going on. The eyes are painted beautifully in this like light blue. You got the pupils in there, which you can see, and he's got this awesome beard, which I'm kind of partial to a beard. It's a pretty good beard. The hair on the back of it is also very well detailed. I mean, the sculpt on it, they took a lot of time to sculpt this stuff out, and I just think they really did a really good job with this. I'm really happy with the sculpt on this one, and I would give it probably like an 8 out of 10 on this one. I don't know a whole lot more they could do with it. Maybe a little more shading on the hair on the back, but again, he's a zombie, and it was pretty much that color, so that's kind of where I would give it. As far as the rest of the body, you can take a look at the armor. It's very detailed as well. You can see he's got multiple layers. Anytime you see figures with multiple layers of clothing and tailoring and whatnot, is always going to give more realism to the actual figure, and I really appreciate that. So you can see the armor. It's got the shoulder armor going on. It's got the chest plates going on. He's got these arms that are got this the material, and I would tell you the material is like it's like a pleather-ish kind of material, and it's layer upon layer of material. It is absolutely beautiful. So I'm really happy that they went that route. He also has this skirt kind of thing going on here, which is nice because it's actually, if you can see, let me get this weapon out of hand for a second. Let's go right there. If you can actually see, it's actually split. It's actually split to give him some articulation in the lower joint. So I'm really happy they were able to do that. Because if it was just one piece, he would have little to no articulation in the leg region, so I'm happy about that. Going on with the articulation, guys, we can take a look at it real quick while he's got this outfit on, because we're going to take this off when we see the deluxe version of it, and we'll see the articulation and what's actually underneath all this, which is It's really, really cool. So articulation-wise, if we start at the top, the head, he's going to look down, you know, about that much. Nothing crazy. And obviously, he's got this long molded hair, and that's going to stop him from looking up too far, and that's pretty much what you're going to get. Side to side, it is on a ball joint, so you will be able to tilt it and have him look side to side, but again, you're going to run into some articulation issues with the hand. Shoulder-wise, now I was actually surprised by this because even with the tailoring going on, the multiple layers of tailoring going on here, the arms, you can actually get them up about 90 degrees. These are a ratcheted joint on the arm, so you can actually feel, it doesn't make any noise, but you can actually feel it where it clicks in. So holding a pose is not going to be a problem whatsoever. He can absolutely do that. Shoulders-wise, we can get up about 90 degrees. So I'm pretty sure we got about a single bend joint there on the elbow. We'll take a look at it when we get the clothing off of him. But single bend right there. The wrist are your normal wrist on a 6-scale figure, guys. It's a pivot joint, so you're going to get 360 rotation, and you're going to get a pivot in there as well. Now on the clothed version like this, you are going to run into a little bit of articulation issues because he's running into this gauntlet here, but I think it's fine. I don't think there's any issues with that. It's not like the White Walkers were out doing ninja kung fu kind of things, so I don't think that's really going to be too much of an issue. As far as ab crunch, so you're going to get, again, this is with all this armor on. We're going to take a look at it again without all this stuff on. Going forward, it's actually pretty good. I mean, he can look down at his feet and look down at some humans he just killed, if you wanted to look at that. Looking backwards, I mean, way back, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Again, you take into account all the tailoring and the clothing and stuff he's wearing, articulation is pretty solid because it's all very malleable. This is not hard rubbery stuff. And it's kind of hard to describe. It's definitely a fabric material right here. This stuff right here is more of a hard plastic. This right here is a moldable plastic, and here we got some some pleathery type material on the arms, but this right here is definitely fabric. As far as twist goes, you can go, I mean, look, he can turn pretty good left or right. I venture to say, because these pieces are separated, he can actually go further than that, but I'm not going to press it. But I think it's, I mean, he is just, boom, look at him, bam, don't mess with him. He's very cool. Lower joints, so if we're going to look at that, let's get these arms out of the way for a second. If we want to look at these lower joints, as far as this goes, again, you might actually be able to hear that ratchet. Maybe you can't, but the hip joints are ratcheted, and you're going to be able to get that's about as far forward as the legs are going to go that way. Backwards wise, oh, you might have heard that. There's the ratchet. Backwards wise, not quite as much backwards, but that's okay. Again, we're not doing kung fu kicks or anything like that. Knees, I'm pretty sure are double jointed. Bam, don't pay attention to this stuff right here. This is from a diorama, which I'll show you here in just a little bit. I was working on, it's actually flour, because I was working on some awesome photos, which you probably saw as part of the thumbnail. But like I said, knees, double jointed there, and you're going to have a pretty good pivot joint going on here with the foot. No toe pivot, so I was kind of sad about that, but again, it's okay. Not too big a deal for me. But guys, I'm super excited about this thing. So he does come with this awesome staff. We'll put this down for just a second. He does stand up very well, like no issues standing up whatsoever. Very balanced figure, no issues at all with that. Now, he does come with his staff. It's kind of the translucent spear-like thing. It's pretty cool, and it's got very, very nice detail on it. It's got like paper mache kind of wrapping going on with it, and they actually were kind enough to give you some extra pieces. So if you actually ripped off some of these tassels, they actually gave you replacement parts of that. So I think that's pretty awesome. Size-wise, it's about almost as tall as the actual figure, maybe an inch shorter. And it is substantial. It's not very heavy, so having him hold it up in his hand is not going to be an issue, and I think it's very well done as far as weapon goes. I like it. As I mentioned earlier, this is the deluxe version, which means we get some extra accessories. So we actually get a replacement. We can call it a kilt, a skirt. I don't know what you guys want to call it. I'm not sure what the actual name of this thing is, but he does give him a replacement bottom, and it is very, very well detailed. You can see like some snow patterning going on there. We got some beadwork. It is connected just via Velcro on the back, so you can just Velcro it just like that, very simple. We do actually get 2 extra feet that come with the deluxe version, which you'll see why we need these in just a second when we start taking this figure apart. And I mean, just look at the detail in this thing. It is, oh man, Just very, very cool. Always cool to see stuff like that. So very happy with that. And like I said earlier, it does come with the replacement parts for the tassels. It also comes with another neck joint, which we're gonna need once we start taking all this stuff off. So this, I've already done this twice for photos purposes. So if you wanna know how to do this, now's a good time to go ahead and make this happen. We're gonna take this thing apart, turn it into the deluxe White Walker version, and you guys can let me know which one you like better. I'm on the fence. I kind of like both. So let's go ahead and take this thing off. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this head off, which we don't need that anymore. Boom. There we go. Head off. All right, so you do actually need to take this neck joint out to replace it with the shorter one. So I found a pretty good way to do that if you don't fall off is just to use something easy. Obviously, it's not a cutting utensil. It's just the rounded part. And we just get a decent grip on it. And we should be able to just pull this thing right on out. And there we go. So it doesn't take much pressure at all, but it's kind of hard to get a good grip on that thing. So we pull that off. So next thing, we're actually going to take the hands off. Those are going to pop right off, and the pegs are actually included with the hands, which is nice. Sideshow figures typically do that as well, so you don't have to go, worried about that. So these gauntlets are going to come off. They're going to come right off. This piece right here, this upper guard, this is Velcroed on, so you can actually just pull this right on off, and you'll feel it Velcro in the front and the back. So we should just be able to get that. There we go. All right, so the Velcro pieces are right here, right on the shoulders. That just pops right off. So we'll take these pieces, pop them over there. This piece right here, once you get it in the package, if you get this brand new, this waistband, if you want to call it that, is actually tied up pretty tight. It's not in a knot or anything. You just got to dig around until you get it out. So it actually is just wrapped around and tucked in. So it literally just wraps around just like this, and you're gonna have no problem taking this thing off. So there's that. And like I said, it's not tied, it's just wrapped around and you tuck it in kind of like a belt. So there's that. As far as the back goes, this is all Velcroed piece right here. So we're gonna take that off. And this piece does not come off, just be mindful of that. So this right here just kind of Velcros right on off. And there's that. And this is where it gets crazy, guys. The body sculpt underneath this thing, crazy. So we're gonna take the arms, we're gonna place the arms forward, and then we're just gonna pull this back just like this. And we're gonna pull from the, I found it best if you pull from here, that way you don't get all wrinkled up. We're gonna pull this straight on off the arms. If you've got the arms straight, it definitely helps out quite a bit. And we're just gonna keep pulling those till that automatically comes off just like that. And obviously right off the bat, guys, you can see what I'm talking about as far as getting the deluxe version. Look at, it's just crazy. We're not even done yet. All right, so we're gonna need to take off the boots. So we're gonna take off the feet first, which these things right here just pop right off. That was loud, right there. And then this piece right here, this calf armor, is gonna come right on off as well, slide off just like that. We're gonna do the other foot. Slide that off. All right. All right, so this piece right here is actually one piece. It's a elastic band. So you're actually just gonna pull this right down like you would gym shorts. That's pretty much how it goes. If you wanna be super careful about it, pull it from here, don't pull it from here. So get in there and just get your finger around there and start pulling it down this way. I found that to be a little better. So, and it is tight, so don't be afraid. You can stretch it, it's not gonna hurt it. Just be mindful of it so you don't go crazy with it trying to, see now I'm having problems getting, there we go. So there we go. All right, he just got a little bit of a big butt, so you gotta get it around that, but it does come straight off just like this. All right, so there we go. So there's that. And then he's got underpants, so we're gonna pull those off. Again, these are an elastic band, just like some gym shorts. So it should be able to pretty easily pull those off. Again, I'm gonna pull those from here, just make sure I get them around the pegs. And you wanna make sure the legs are straight, and we should be able to get this right on off. So let's get that out. All right, now, once you get this off, if I can get this around here, it's gonna kinda look like he's wearing a diaper. Which you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. Let me see if I can get this around this part. There we go. All right, there we go. All right, so this is what I'm talking about, is wearing kind of a diaper. He's got like, there's Walker booty right there, guys. I don't know if that's PG-13 or whatever, but that's Walker booty. And this is what I'm talking about as far as the diaper stuff goes. But this is the underbody of this figure, and it is extremely well detailed. I mean, it's just, the shading's they went through a great length to actually make this thing look as amazing as it does. You can see like the bone structure, you look at the back, you see the spine going down. I mean, he's had implants done right about here. So I mean, just all around, very, very cool. So you can actually see down here on the calf where this is like an overlay of the actual under the skeleton of it. This is like an overlay. And I think they did a really good job with it. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. In order to do that, we're done with the pants. We're just going to simply put on this skirt doodad here. And like I said, it's just Velcroed, so it should be very easy to get on. The beads are going to go in the front. The beads, they're going to go in the front. So we're just going to take that around here. Fold that down. Make it very simple. I'm going to get the hands out of the way. And I found these things are a lot easier to do if you got them laying down. It's just, I don't know, it's found it easier for me to do it that way. So there's that. There's that. All right, feet wise, again, you're gonna have a right and left foot. They're pretty easy to put on. They're just peg on just like the other ones we just took off. So you do wanna make sure that the actual bandages, you're not getting those caught up in the peg, so you don't have any issues with that. And you just put those to the side, and actually, if you put it on the right foot, probably worked a little better as far as visual. And you gotta push them on there pretty good. So there we go. All right, so you're on, and definitely push from the bottom. Push from the heel. Don't push from the toes. So make sure you get a good contact with these things, because you don't have any issues with them. But they're pretty tight. All right, so there's our feet from there. We're gonna take our extra peg. We're gonna use the shorter peg. Don't fall over. And we're actually just gonna put this thing right in here. Should be able to get it on there pretty easy. There's that. You heard a little snap. And then the head's gonna pop right on, so that should be fine. And here's why you can see you're gonna need that shorter head, neck piece, because he actually doesn't have that armor to make him look a little taller. So there he is. He's lost some hands, but we're gonna fix that, so that's okay. Let's take this hand, peg that right back in there. Let's take this hand, peg this one right back in here, and there he is. Look at that. So I think that's pretty freaking cool. Look at that thing. That is awesome. So you know, display purposes wise, you know, I would probably display mine like this, because I think he's a little more scary this way. The other one is more, you know, officer-like and kind of, you know, leading the pack. This guy right here, he's just kind of, you know, he's gonna jump into battle. To place the weapon in his hands, what you need to do is you actually have to take whichever hand you're gonna have. You have a right and left gripping hand, and you're going to bend, all right? You're going to actually bend the fingers out. That's what the instructions tell you to do. So you're literally just gonna bend them just like this and place this weapon in his hand. So that's all you gotta do. Do not try and slide this through his hand. You're gonna rip all the paper stuff off. And you're not gonna, these are very, very bendable. You're not gonna have any issues with this. So you can actually just get this going here, bend this, and boom, there we go. Just like that. So if you don't have him, let's put him back on this side. If you want to have him just kind of standing there holding the staff like he's getting ready to go into battle, this is a good place to make that happen. So let's go ahead and get that bend going on there, and there we go. So there he is with the weapon in hand. Again, very easy to do, and you know, for the money, I think the exclusive version or the deluxe version, it's going to cost you an extra like 20 bucks. I think it'd be crazy not to get the deluxe version. I think it's beautiful. I think just having the posability, the options, the display options to have this thing, I think you got to get the deluxe. I think it's a no-brainer. But you guys can let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this figure. I'm super excited about it. I'm glad to have it. I don't know how many I need to actually have my own Walker army, because I don't think I can get like hundreds, thousands of them. I think that might get very expensive. As far as value goes, guys, this thing was $205 or $207 at Sideshow right now. I'll put a link in the description below. You can pick that up if you like. It's worth every penny of it, honestly. I mean, I've paid a lot more for a lot less. And I will tell you right now, this thing is very, very, very cool. The last thing I told you we'd take a look at the articulation of this thing without the armor on. So again, like I said, we got a single joint right here, double joint back there on the knees. You can actually see the double joint going on right there. And what I was talking about earlier with the ab crunch, I mean, without that armor on, look at this. Without the armor on, look at this bend. That's crazy. That is crazy. You just don't see that from 6-scale figures. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This posability of this figure is awesome. I think it's a beautiful figure. And honestly, I kind of want like 3 or 4 of them more to add to the collection. I think they're amazing. Now, 3-0's got more figures coming out. Currently, they got Arya Stark, they got Brienne of Tarth, they got Cersei Lannister, Tyrion, and a pile of other ones that came from older, but they got some new ones announced. I think they just announced Joffrey, but I'll put a link in the description if you want to pick up some of these figures from 3-0 from Sideshow, and I think you guys would be very happy to pick these up. So I'm going to throw some photos up on here so you guys can take a closer look at it, but in the meantime, guys, collect what you like. We'll see you next time.